Good morning. August the 5th, 2025. Just checking my inbox for any interesting news of the day. I get some newsletters that come in from Investment Executive and Advisor.ca and FP Collective. What we've got here today. We have a couple of titles. Let's see if anything is worth reading. Opinion: Beyond Binding Authority, Improving Canada's Complaint Handling System. Binding authority represents progress, but system-wide reform is still needed. Okay. Industry moves: John McIntyre named chair of TD Bank. Job weakness weighing on wages, inflation. Also, OPEC countries to boost oil production by 547,000 barrels per day. CPP investments to provide $255 million in funding for Ontario data center. Let's just go to the website. Oh, here's an interesting one. Inheritance hinges on dead couple's marital status. Appeal court to hear challenge to ruling that pair were in a marriage-like relationship. Ooh. All right, that's pretty interesting. I'm guessing that they didn't get married, but they were living together, common law, and maybe they didn't update their wills, and then either one or both passed away, and now the estate is being, let's see, Court of Appeal of British Columbia. So it's in British Columbia. They will hear a bid to overturn a lower court's ruling that a marriage-like relationship existed between a couple, both now deceased, with a fate of $3 million estate hanging in the balance. Now, $3 million. It's not, it's a good size estate, but it probably will involve like the house, a cottage, which doesn't mean that there's necessarily a lot of other investments in there. So they were in a relationship that amounted to marriage. She died without a will in 2020. And after she died without a will in 2020, who's this? The man sued the brother, who was the administrator of her estate, claiming that he was entitled to inherit her assets on the basis that he was legally her spouse. Then he died in 2022 before the court could hold a hearing on the issue, and this claim was taken up by the executor of his estate. Haha. Wow. According to the court, so they didn't live together, but they met. Wait, hold on a second. The pair met at a tennis club in 1982 and had a relationship that lasted until Clark died, yet there was a dispute about whether their relationship amounted to a marriage. If the relationship was deemed not to be a marriage, then her estate would go to the brother. If it was considered a marriage, her estate would go to her spouse's estate to be distributed to his heirs. Oh my goodness. Including his 3 nieces, nephew, and then his executor. Wow. So while the relationship between while the relationship between them lasted 38 years, compared to most marriage-like relationships, it was at least unconventional. They did not raise a family together. They did not share the same residence. Each of them was financially self-sufficient, and they maintained no joint bank accounts. Wow. Ultimately, the Supreme Court concluded that they were in a marriage-like relationship, and so the deceased husband's estate would be entitled to her assets. Wow. So that means that the woman's estate, who was supposed to go to her brother, Now the brother, who's also the executor, she didn't have a will. He's now contesting the ruling. Wow, wow, wow. Now this is an interesting article, and just goes to show you how important it is to make sure you do proper estate planning. She may have wanted it to go to her, unconventional relationship, spouse, whatever. But if it wasn't clear and she died without a will, then, I mean, the brother's already gone through all this stuff. He had to go and do the letters to become the administrator of the estate. That's a lot of work already. And all of a sudden he's like, what? But then on the other hand, if they spend 38 years together, like, just get a will. Get a will, make it clear, and so that there's not all this pain and suffering and anger after the fact. So, wow, that was interesting. I just stumbled across that one.